Welcome to the font's too small. Hey, turn up the font. Welcome to Rico and Cook and Book and Rico and Rico.
All right, so to start off the show, we have a different type of segment. We're going to be having a discussion and giving our opinions on one of the top prospects in the Yankees organization. So to start off, we have Anthony VOLPE. Obviously, he's been getting some MLB playing time at shortstop. We're seeing his speed ability with a lot of stolen bases so far, just to start off his early career. And, I mean, his batting average is pretty good just for entering the major leagues, coming from AA, not really playing much of AAA, and now going straight to the majors. So what are your thoughts on Anthony VOLPE?
I mean, it is a shame that he is currently sitting at a sub-200 batting average, but obviously I think that's subject to change. I mean, first few games in the majors, like you said, and he's definitely shown some promise, especially offensively. You know, we knew that he was going to be, such a great offensive talent, but, something that really shouldn't be undermined by the offense is his defense, and he's definitely a better defender at the shortstop position than players we saw last year, like IKF at short or Oswaldo Cabrera at short, who is also a great offensive player but cannot compare defensively to VOLPE. So, like you said, I think he's definitely going to improve, but right now it is a slow start, and that's really to be, expected from such a young guy. And, we also have a few other great prospects in the organization. So the number 2 prospect right now, Jasson Dominguez, what are your thoughts on him? Obviously an outfielder, different than VOLPE. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I hope he can get up in the next year or two. Definitely not this year. I'm pretty sure staying in the minors. Hopefully he makes his way up to the system to at least like AA, like Anthony VOLPE, how like VOLPE was so young. But Dominguez is still only 20 years old. He still needs a year or two more to just develop his skills overall and get used to that high speed, a lot of movement in the MLB compared to the minors. But I think Dominguez is going to be a really good prospect for the Yankees. And if he doesn't play for the Yankees, a really good trade piece in a year to come.
Yeah, and we saw him in spring training, tied for second in home runs. I mean, he's definitely a unit offensively, a 5'2" player. He's got the speed, he's got the fielding, and he's got all the hitting that you would want in a guy. Obviously, the comparisons to Mike Trout are there, and like you said, I would really hope that he comes up within this season. If not, then opening day next season, because he's really a talent that you just don't want to miss on. And there's a lot of them in the Yankees organization. You got guys like Austin Wells, Spencer Jones. Austin Wells, catcher and first baseman, so he's a very versatile defender, along with just ripping the cover off the ball in minor leagues. Great power hitter. What do you think about Austin Wells? Do you see him coming up anytime soon for the Yankees?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we see an injury, which would be unfortunate to either Higashioka or Jose Trevino. Jose Trevino is obviously the true starter down there, all-star appearance this past year. But I think Austin Wells is going to be a catcher in the next year, and I think he's going to come up at some point this year just to get a couple at-bats in the major leagues. He's been AAA for about a year now, so I do think that he can be a piece for the Yankees.
And, yeah, he's just an all-around great power hitter. Reminds me of Gary Sanchez, just with a little bit of better contact. He hits for average down in the minors, unlike Sanchez did. But overall, I am personally really excited to see him come up, another guy just in the Yankees organization that I'm really big on, along with some other great pieces. We talked about Jasson Dominguez, another outfielder alongside him. Spencer Jones just started off in High A Hudson Valley, his first time since getting drafted just last season. So what do you think about him? A lot of comparisons to players like Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge. Do you think he's going to pan out in the way that these legends for the Yankees will?
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a lefty Aaron Judge at this point, especially seeing him in college at Vanderbilt. I mean, he played there for a couple of years, so he has experience with high-level pitchers that he faced. And I think he's definitely a good outfielder. He has athleticism and a similar build to Aaron Judge, but that lefty power always works out in Yankee Stadium. And our final prospect, Trey Sweeney, one of your favorite guys, so you know a lot about him.
Yeah, I mean, all around plays every single position in the infield, came up as a shortstop, but obviously being behind Peraza and VOLPE, it's going to be very difficult to surpass them, especially being younger. But he can also throw on that first baseman, play first base. He can play second and third, as well as a little bit of corner outfield. So I can see him being a DJ LeMahieu type. Just can play any position out there. You just throw him into the lineup. He's an amazing hitter. He can play the defense pretty well, and like you said, I'm very high on him right now just because of his versatility compared to players like Austin Wells, who can also play multiple positions. And I think that's something that the Yankees organization really has, that they have the one up on organizations because they have such versatile players.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. But that'll do it for this segment. We'll wrap our show up with our Ask the Analyst segment when we come back.
To end off the show, we are pleased to be joined by our social media representative and Philadelphia Phillies historian, Marissa Toulis.
Thank you.
This is our Ask the Analyst segment. As you know, we ask these to a few questions from around the world of sports. So to start off, who do you have as your favorites to win the NBA championship this year?
I think I'm going to go with the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry, he's getting up there. He doesn't have that many years left, and I think that he deserves another win. And, he's working hard. He's getting to be a veteran, and I'd like to see him, if this is one of his last seasons, get another ring.
Yeah, I got to go with the Denver Nuggets. I think Nikola Jokic is going to lead that team. Obviously, back-to-back MVPs, and yeah, he's just the favorite in all the league right now. So I think he's going to carry that team to the championship.
All great picks. Me personally, I'm sticking with the West just like you two. I got to go with the Los Angeles Lakers. I know they're still fighting for that spot within the play-in tournament, but if they make it, I have them going all the way just because you got LeBron and AD and a couple new free agency signings. I think they can go all the way, and LeBron does not like losing anymore. And just to move into Major League Baseball now from the NBA, obviously some breakout stars already to start off the season. Who do you have as a player that you would like to see break out this year, and a player that you think will go down in value this year?
I've said these two before as players that I think have high chances of being stars, but Bryson Stott for the Phillies. I mean, the game I was at, he went like 3 for 3. He's putting the ball in play well, singles, doubles, not really a big power hitter. And he does his job. He's a great infielder. I mean, next to Trey Turner, I know he's so much better than him, but you can't really tell that he's a lot younger and less experienced. And then my other pick would be Taylor Walls for the Rays. I mean, next to Wander Franco again, he's not going to get as much playing time, but if he swings the bat a little more, he could be really successful, and he's one of the best defensive shortstops in the league.
And for players that you think would deplete in value, who do you have?
Honestly, I'm going Fernando Tatis. I know that's a little controversial, but, I'm over it. I'm tired of it. He's a fraud. He can't even make half the routine plays. He can make the superstar, all-star plays, but, I'm just ready to see him pack it in and be done.
Rico?
For my breakout, I'm going to go with the first baseman for the Rockies, C.J. Cron. I feel like he doesn't get a lot of recognition. I mean, he's hitting home runs, almost led the league in home runs last year. And this year, again, I mean, he's just raking the Rocky Stadium. A lot of people, it is known for him to be a player to do that with the high altitude up there. And for a player that I really don't like going into this year is going to be Wander Franco. Like you said, I think he's going to start falling off. I also think the Rays, obviously recording this right now, they're 10-0. But I think the Rays are going to start to fall off as the year goes on, and they can never seem to stay healthy in the playoffs.
Once again, some great picks all around. And now moving into our final topic, the National Football League. Odell Beckham Jr. just signed a 1-year, $18 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens, obviously with controversy surrounding Lamar Jackson requesting a trade. Do you think, in the case that Tyler Huntley is the quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, do you think that OBJ made the right choice, and do you think he can revive his career with the Ravens?
No, I think OBJ, I know the Rams had him and we loved him, but he's a big head case. We know that. We've known that since day one. And I think he's not going to thrive in an environment that's kind of down already like the Ravens are. I mean, the Ravens, if they don't have Lamar, they're going to be very stagnant. I don't even see them breaking even this season in record. But I think OBJ, that was a big mistake on his part, and I don't think he's going to be successful.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not going to be successful with the Ravens. I mean, they signed receivers in the past to these 3-year, 4-year deals. I mean, they tried out Des Bryant, similar situation as Odell, coming off an injury, go to the Ravens and try a 1-year deal, and it doesn't work out. Odell coming off the ACL, he's just not going to be good anymore.
Once again, great picks, but I'm going to have to defer in this one. I'm going to say OBJ is going to have a great season once again. I'm pretty high on Tyler Huntley personally. I think obviously he had sort of a down year in the few games that he did play with the Ravens.
He only played 1 year.
He played 2 games with the Ravens last year.
He played 1 year.
Check the stats. But obviously with Lamar going, I think Tyler Huntley can definitely step into that role. And OBJ definitely has a chance at reviving his career, especially when it comes to teams that are still looking for that wide receiver, that number 1 piece. So I think OBJ is going to have a great year for himself. And that'll do it for this week's episode.
Tune in next week for another episode of the #1 weekly sports show on Wayne Hills TV. I'm Marissa.
I'm Rico.
And I'm Hook. And this has been Rico and Hook.